I'm just figuring out. Okay. So very good evening to all of you, and I welcome all the chartered accountants or the aspiring professionals to be on this session. I'm Chartered Accountant Deepak Mulchandani, the founder of Degree to Placements. And in the series of Prepare to Placements, today we are having a session on forensics. So in order to introduce, I have got immense amount of pride right now that I am introducing one of my students only, Aditi Ladha, who happens to be a chartered accountant. She completed her CA in 2018. Then she moved to Ernst & Young for forensics. And there is a little story behind that. We'll share it during the session. And then after 6.5 years, Aditi has now moved to Crompton Greaves. And जैसे बोलते हैं ना forensics is like कुछ छुप छुप के काम करना and all that kind of stuff. That is one thing, one field which is gaining a lot of traction, which has got a lot of excitement in the way ahead. So this session, as you know, we try to bridge the gap between education and employability. That's what the overall concept is all about, degree to placements. So we run these sessions purely with no fee. And let me tell you, Aditi is also not going to get paid anything for this. So, but we do it for the sake of doing it, to give it back to our community, to make our students and chartered accountants who do not have formal placement cells, formal placement guidance available. So this goes to all of them as a mark of gratitude to the profession, that you can at least have a better and informed choice as compared to flying blind into the corporate world. So to give a start, may I request all the participants to just give their demography, and if there are any rank holders who are attending, please just mention that so that we get to know the demography from which cities all of you are attending, so that the speaker can then take it over from there. So may I please allow you to put your locations in the chat box, please. Where are you all from? Okay, so here we go. Surat, Gujarat, Navi Mumbai, New Delhi, Hyderabad, Thane, Chennai, Pune, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Mumbai, Delhi, again Hyderabad, Mangalore, Kolkata, Bihar. Alicia is from Bihar. Mumbai, Hubli, Chennai, Jaipur, Chennai, Delhi, Sitamarhi, Bihar, Salem, Tamil Nadu, Ludhiana, Punjab, Devendra from Jaipur, Mumbai, Ghaziabad, Andhra Pradesh, Thane, Delhi, Mangalore, Navi Mumbai, Lucknow, Punjab, Jaipur, Surat, Lucknow, Mumbai. Great. So, Aditi, you have got the whole country being
Yes.
coming here to listen to you. And without doing much ado, we'll straight away get on to work. And it's all over to you, as we have mentioned in the theme, that what you are going to take care of. So, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for this podium first. And hello, everybody. Many congratulations to everybody who has cleared the toughest exam. And welcome to the fraternity. And everybody who's aspiring to be a chartered accountant, all the very best for your exams. Like sir has already given my background and my brief about my corporate experience and where I've started from. I'll just add on to what sir has already mentioned. So in 2019 February, when EY came for campus placements, that sir had invited them. Back then, I was aspiring to get into forensics, though the odds were against me, and I could not really uh, get the slot for interview then, but I was really adamant, and thanks to sir for the support. I got to get interviewed by one of the directors in EY, and then it is another story where I had to take a call from my terrace. It was not an easy interview. Nonetheless, long story short, I back then got selected into EY forensics team. And since then, I have been working for EY. First 5 years, I was in Pune, and then I shifted to Mumbai. And if I speak about the industry that I've worked for, it has been a good mix of manufacturing, hospitality, food industry, and automobile manufacturing industries, trade industries, and whatnot. So I'll not keep this session boring. It'll be less of me speaking about the course, but I would also want to address the questions as much as I can towards the end of the session. I've prepared a small PPT for you all so that we have a little bit of talking points here and there, and we'll keep this really candid. Sir, how do I present my screen from Zoom? Do you
There is a
have you
green
given
green
me
icon
presenting
called,
rights?
yeah, there is a
I
green
have the
icon called
presenting
share.
rights.
So
Yeah,
there
yeah,
is,
I have presenting rights.
and let me know, you asked me to put up a poll. So right now I can put that question in the chat box. It's to be done right now or later?
Not now, not now.
Okay.
I'll let you know later on. Yep. Cool. Let me know once you all can see my screen.
You are visible. Yes, you are visible
Yes,
along with the screen. The screen reads fraud, forensic audit, and investigations.
Perfect.
yes,
So to start with, guys, we've been hearing a lot of frauds being surfaced either through our friends, our newspapers, media channels, or the chartered accountants that we are associated with. And the newspapers these days are nothing short of such unfortunate news flashing here and there about big entities siphoning off money, the promoters having malified intentions, running away with the investors' money, and all of that. Now, here comes the role of a chartered accountant to really uncover what was hidden and could not be caught by internal auditors or stat auditors. This is where forensic auditors come in. Now, if you read about any crime, any such financial fraud that happens anywhere in our corporate culture, domestically in India, internationally, anywhere, you'll read that there was some lapses in the processes that people found a loophole and they tried to get advantage of, and they tried to have money earned out of such loopholes. Any diligent employee, any ethical employee would not do that. But unfortunate that we have such people, such elements in our society that would want to, leverage those loopholes and make money out of it. Then we come as an auditor, and not just an auditor, but a forensic auditor, to really read between the lines. Now, what is forensic accounting investigation? What basically forensic would mean to you? Now, anybody would relate it to internal audit. The procedures might would sound similar, but the procedures definitely are very different, but the outcome is definitely very, very different. And the objective that you start with any forensic audit, that is very different from an internal audit. I'm sure all of you who have been through articleship have gone through such internal audits and stat audits, and I'm sure some of us would have gone through a couple of forensic audits also. Uh, I would just ask people to write in the chat if anybody has got a chance to work on forensic audit as part of their articleship. And by the time you guys are chiming in chats, Ankit has done it, Arushi, Rashmi, great. So we have a mix. Guys, forensic accounting investigation is basically use of accounting, auditing, and investigative skills to analyze financial information for use of legal proceedings. Now, in normal internal audit, you will not see uh, people really running after some agenda of identifying loophole in certain process, certain whistleblower complaint. They would just pick a process. They would try to deep dive as much as possible, compare with the policy structures, whether the policy has been followed or not, whether the delegation of authority has been followed or not. That is typical standard audit or traditional audit that we do, but with investigative skills, with a certain objective to find a flaw, which is being highlighted either through whistleblower channel, either hearsay information, market information, or it has come from management because they do not have a comfort on a particular process, because they do not have a comfort on a particular person who's leading the process. This is the source of starting an investigation. One second, I'm just reading what people are writing. In-depth checking, not sampling. Yes, Ankit. At times you would want to do sampling also in case of forensic audit as well, but I'll get to those specifics towards the further slides. So in forensic accounting, basically everything that you can think of to prove a thief, all those things would be applied here. Now, what is the purpose? Like I've been telling you, there is a different objective. There is something to be proven at the back uh, that we are trying to start a forensic audit for. It is to detect and investigate financial fraud. It could be an embezzlement, bribery, procurement fraud. There was a study published back in 2024 which said that 52% of the frauds that happen across world come from procurement departments. Why? Because they have the liberty, they have the authority and agency to uh, procure material. They have the funds with them to spend, and that is where people take the advantage of the gap that a company might would have. And what the companies are doing, companies are trusting their employees. So wherever people are breaching the trust, breaching the code of conduct of the company, that time we have a heroic entry of forensic auditors. Embezzlement, again, because of employees. Bribery could be government, could not be government. It could be private bribery, could be public bribery. It also is not restricted to just doing our work and publishing the report. It also has a forensic auditor also has a responsibility to provide expert witness testimony in the court of law. And we also do provide litigation support to our clients when they are stuck in some litigation, either against some agency, any company, or an employee. There could be support that a regulatory or enforcement body would ask from us, majorly in money laundering frauds, or if it is security fraud, it could be from SEBI that we might have. So, all in all, it is a very, very interesting field. Trust me, anybody of you who likes to dig deeper into things, who does not want to take papers, processes, people on face value, this is the best field you can enter into.
Okay.
Now, why should a fresher chartered accountant opt for forensics? This is a very common question that I've been getting quite often. That why not internal audit? Why not stat audit? See, these guys who are into stat audit and internal audit, those are also auditors. But it is the kida in you that would want to do something different. It is a fast growing field which requires high demand, highly skilled professionals. It is not anybody's cup of tea. I have seen people who are great at internal audits, but they would fail at forensic skills. Why? Because they don't see things the way forensic auditor would see. I've also gotten some case studies for you where I'm going to showcase a couple of examples from my experience of now nearly 7 years of great cases that we've cracked. And I'll show you what nitty-gritties one would want to see every day, every single day. You have to think out of the box to really have that skill that flows in your blood and then comes out on report or paper. It offers diverse assignments such as fraud detection, dispute resolution, compliance reviews. Now, compliance reviews also mean anti-bribery, anti-corruption compliances check that you would do generally for US based company who are also governed by DOJ, that is Department of Justice. Now, fraud detection is not something that is going to happen generally by internal audit or stat audit or any other kind of audit that we do. Fraud detection would trigger from any of these audits, but to bring it to conclusion, you need to have a forensic auditor in place. This also provides strong career differentiation compared to traditional audits and taxes. It allows early exposure to advanced analytics, investigations, real world financial issues. You also get to enter into high profile cases which actually make it to media. And you would be amazed to see the kind of cleverness people showcase while they are committing a fraud. See, like we say, कोई भी चोर क्लीन चिट तो लेके जाता नहीं है, कुछ ना कुछ वो पीछे छोड़ता है. Now you have to be that smart कि आप वो चीज पकड़ लो. कैसे पकड़ोगे? When you know the entire process, when you're excelling at audit, when you're excelling at process reviews, then you're going to have that another edge over others where you can actually find out कि ठीक है ये तो सब कर लेते हैं, अब मैं बताता हूँ कि फॉरेंसिक वाले दिमाग से मैं क्या निकाल के लाता हूँ. So while we are on this slide, I'll give you a quick example of one of the cases that we did. I was with the consulting firm. There was this one MD of a very big manufacturing company, and the company was held by one of the German conglomerates. So here we had a subsidiary in India. Now, for foreigners, for such people who are sitting outside the country, for them, MD here sitting who's monitoring all the operations is everything. So they have that agency, they have that responsibility to really cater to those kind of expectations that our foreign counterparts have on them. But this MD was really clever. He made sure that he takes benefit of all the authority that he has. And one of the TNE voucher, that is travel and entertainment expense voucher, he claimed for buying one of the watches, expensive watches. 2,30,000 was the price of the watch precisely. And on the invoice, it was just the model number that they wrote. Now, any auditor, if we are conducting traditional audit, one, it might would just go untouched because the value is just 2,10,000, and we would generally in other audits go for bigger ticket items. But in forensics, we don't really hold ourselves back from picking up small samples also. So when we picked that sample up of 2,10,000 rupees, we realized that the watch was actually a lady's watch. And because he used it for gifting, corporate gifting, we wondered who's the person whom would be needing a lady's watch, because all the people that he was interacting with were all males. Okay, fine. It was just July 2019 when this person bought the watch. We realized that they do not have any such meetings where they are supposed to gift anything, and it was very strict norm from German counterparts that you're not allowed to gift from your pocket and you're not allowed to claim anything through TNE expenses. Later, I searched for the Facebook account of his wife, and I realized that August 2019 onwards, every picture that she clicked had that watch in her hand, which means that before July 2019, we also saw the pictures that were before 2019 July, and we realized that there were no such watch. When we questioned him, he agreed that yes, I gave it to my wife and it was not for corporate gifting. So all such nuances, we identified so many examples where he would claim his newspaper bills for his house. He would claim such personal expenses and he would put them into companies' expenses. Because he was MD, nobody from finance would question his expenses, and they would all just disburse them to him. This sort of made me realize that people at that authority also are not fair to their jobs. And this thought that we should be actually checking into the Facebook or Instagram accounts, or I know it's a little bit of invasion of privacy, but it is admissible in court of law if you really present it with facts and with legitimate responses received from the employee, the alleged employee. So such kind of triggers that make you think more, that make you think out of the box, go out of your routine job, think something different for every transaction that comes to you on your desk. That will make you and make your life really interesting. And every day to office will feel like, okay, what a great day to be in office. Now, I'll move to one of the most asked question. What is it that I can get out of forensics as a field in India? So the number of cases that we are seeing in corporate frauds, they are increasing enormously. One, because people are getting more aware about whistleblowers, Second, people have gotten a confidence on the consultants who can perform such kind of investigations. Also, they have some kind of confidence on their ethics committee that is sitting out in the company itself. One could be that reason that people are coming up and exposing such kind of frauds. Second could be because we have so many digital tools, AI driven tools, which are running on the data sets of the company's books, that they themselves get a flag if there is something which is going in a different direction than a usual trend. So such kind of financial irregularities, corporate frauds, they're increasing. And it is just going to increase with the digital world that we are entering into, or we have already entered into, and it's just increasing at another pace. With AI getting into picture, there is n number of possibilities that we get to see with the kind of forgery people are doing. They are making fake videos, deep fake videos. They are making entire entire report out of AI. What so when we talk about AI, it is just another topic for another day, but it has so many possibilities. And as an auditor, as a monitor of economy, we have our own role in monitoring all of these things, that people are doing things in right way and with right spirit. If somebody is not maintaining the spirit, then we have right people to punish them as well. So that is one reason, and that is the current situation and the future situation that we anticipate in India and globally also, that frauds are going to increase and we need more forensic auditors. Second is regulatory oversight has been increasing enormously. SEBI, RBI, MCA, enforcement agencies like SFIO, EOW, they keep reaching out to firms like ENY and other big fours, and also individual practicing chartered accountants to take their cases of fraud and really take the cases through the lens of an auditor, a financial expert who would understand the story behind any entry, behind any books, any misappropriation of asset. Because I'll tell you, in departments like SFIO, EOW, there the kind of people who are sitting are not really educated to crack a financial fraud. They do have authority, they do have agency, but they do not know the real way to crack these frauds. And we as auditors, we as chartered accountants are the best people to really crack a financial fraud. The way you would go back to certain SAP data sets or ERP data sets, how you would want to link it to other manual records, how you would want to speak to people, get the information about processes, and everything actually for that matter. Everything that is coming to you as part of your thought to audit any certain transaction, you can do it, because people who are deploying you to conduct such investigations, they give you that kind of liberty, they give you that kind of data set that you can actually go and deep dive. So you have enormous possibility if you enter into forensics as a stream. You have future driven, that is absolutely driven by data analytics, AI based fraud detection, digital forensics. You have so many tools that are coming in that will read the data for you, but AI and machine learning can only read the data for you. To build a story behind it, to have that human touch to any transaction, to really understand somebody's expression when the person is sitting right in front of you, all that is still to be done by the auditors. So that has a good and a very promising present and future for forensic investigations in India. I'll just take a break, sir, here. Is the speed good? Are we covering things the way people would want this to get covered?
Um, it's for them. If they are okay, they should give the thumbs up and send some emojis so that we should know that we are doing the work properly or not.
Yes.
Going well. So the response is validated.
Cool. Thank you so much, guys. Now, speaking about domestic and global opportunities in forensics, like the route that I have taken, you get into a big four and then you get into an industry. This is one of the most typical way how people do it here. Any big four or any other consulting firm, you can get into banks because they have vigilance officers. You can get into investigation agencies. If you want to join SFIO, you'll have to get into civil services. But other investigation agencies who would hire forensic professionals to conduct market intelligence, to conduct deep dive into certain transactions, or to conduct mystery shopping. That is also one of the promising careers that we are seeing in future. One topic that I touched about mystery shopping and market intelligence. I'll just take a minute. I'll just take a minute to explain what is market intelligence. Okay, what is market intelligence? It is basically going out in the market I'm sorry, going out in the market and getting the information in informal way. In India, you can do it. Outside India, it's not allowed. But in India, on your personal terms, you can go out and speak about people, processes, about norm. For example, if you heard that a particular vendor of your client is giving bribe, you can actually send out professionals who are experts in market intelligence. They would do their reiki, they would do their jugaad, they would get the information for you whether the whistleblowing complaint is right or not. And then you can decide whether do you want to pursue this as a proper forensic investigation, or was this a hoax complaint. Why? Because see, complaints can happen in two cases. One, I have a grudge against someone, I have a problem with someone, and I would want to spoil their reputation. Second, there is actually something that is going on. If it is a second case, it's the best to tap it there and kill the bug. But if it's the first case, then there is no point grilling the alleged person through the entire investigation process and then find out that there was nothing, right? Because everybody has their own esteem. So there are people who actually does market intelligence, and they will get you the right information, and then you can decide you want to pursue the case or not. That is also something that you can get taught while you're working with consulting firms or big fours. Now there are international opportunities also with fraud risk management, compliance audits are anti-bribery, anti-corruption audits that we generally do for US based clients, like I said. Why? Because in USA, the government is really, really strict. They do not want to conduct their businesses in shady manners. So any company who has a subsidiary in India, which is based out of USA, they would want to get the audits done of ABAC. What kind of audit would they want us to do? Anything that Indian subsidiary is doing, which is actually transacting with government, whether that transaction with government was fair or not. Was there any bribe involved in it? If they find something like that, they have major penalty clauses that are being deployed by DOJ, which one spoils the image of the company, second hits their market share, third also levies a heavy penalty on the company, which directly hits their P&L without getting any revenue share. So companies, as a preliminary step and a preventive step, they get the ABAC audits done. If there is anything which they see in the books of account, they would do proper inquiry about the person, about the transaction, about the consulting firm through which they would have done the government dealings, and they try to cut the ties with such person or such vendor who has paid the bribe. This way, people and companies are constantly trying to improve their processes. There's a high demand across industries: fintech, healthcare, manufacturing, BFSI industry, technology industries. Industries are wanting to have their in-house forensic team so that before anybody else finds out the fraud, our team in-house will find the fraud and correct it then and there. There is fraud risk assessment that we conduct across industries. When you're part of consulting firms, you would do FRAs for multiple clients. But if you're a part of a manufacturing industry or any particular industry and you're sitting in a company, you would do FRA for that particular company. And the kind of things that come out in FRA, they'll surprise you. Why? Because those transactions have already gone through several auditors. But the kind of insight or the kind of outlook that you will have towards those transactions, nobody has seen those transactions with that sight. And the kind of things that are going to come out from those transactions would be amazing, and you'll love the observations. And you will also feel that, okay, I'm also contributing to companies Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and Swachh Company Abhiyan. There are cross-border investigations that multinational corporations also do. So for example, if you're sitting in India and you're working for a company or for a client whose parents are sitting up in abroad, or parent company is anywhere outside India, they also would want investigations to be done in their home countries. You get to travel across the world, you get to travel across India to really meet people, see processes, speak with people, do interrogations. And interrogations mean proper interrogations. Of course, you do not have right to search and seizure, and you do not have right to beat the person. But yeah, I've had some really great experiences of investigations interviews, and I'll share that also with you. Now, what are the skills required for a forensic auditor? I've been telling you, think out of the box. You don't think like a normal auditor. You think like a thief. You think if you were in a person's shoe who's actually transacting that uh, particular incident or that particular transaction for the company, you think what would he do to really make money out of it? It could be monetary benefit, it could be non-monetary benefit. So you need strong analytical skills and also investigative mindset. Of course, you need to have accounting knowledge, auditing knowledge, and financial reporting knowledge to really understand the misappropriation of asset, if that is the kind of fraud that you're seeing. You need to have some understanding of laws and regulations and fraud schemes. If you do not have understanding of a particular law, you can always read it. You can always understand from your seniors, your colleagues. You can always take help of Google and read about the laws. You can learn. It is optional, but it is always advisable. You can learn analytics. Now, people are also getting into learning languages which help them doing analytics, computer languages, SQL, and whatnot. So, all of those languages also help investigators read the data and bring data in a shape where they can actually make something out of it. You need to be good at visualization. You first need to think the story, you need to prove the story to yourself, you need to convince yourself, and then you would be able to sell it to anybody. You need to be proficient with the forensic tools. Now, not everybody of us would have exposure to forensic tool at the start of our career, but of course the organization that you would join, they would equip you with everything, with tools, with the knowledge how to run the tool, and if you want to bring in some insight and how to improve the tool, you can always do that as well. And last but not the least, you need to have good interviewing skills and professional skepticism. Because, guys, understand, while I'm saying that you are a forensic auditor and it is very exciting to be a forensic auditor, you have a very big moral responsibility that because of you, somebody might would lose the job, somebody might would lose the reputation, somebody might would lose their money. So you have to be really vigilant while you're doing something. Just to prove that you were right, you cannot prove somebody wrong. You need to have that diligence done. You need to have that professional skepticism that, okay, maybe I would want to get proven wrong this time. Maybe this person is right. And then at times, me, if I talk about myself, I also at times try to defeat my thoughts, and I try to listen to the person who's sitting in front of me on the interview chair and think from their perspective also. People say that I took money from the vendor. That is absolutely not right. If you're taking money from the vendor in cash or in bank account, that is absolutely not okay. But for example, this person is really honest. That person has been committed towards the company since very long. And it was just 5,000 rupees that they took from the vendor because they were stuck in a position where they were traveling with the vendor. There was no other option but to get the money from the bank account of vendor in their own account. And they also disclosed it to the manager, and then they also returned the money. There is a proper chain of transaction that we are seeing in the bank account. Now, if the first statement that I said, if you would have made a decision to throw that person out of the company, that would have been wrong on your part as well, because that person was actually stuck. Day to day, we have 100 stories going on in everybody's life. You need to put in the practical scenario before you prove a story right. So, while you are interviewing someone, have those humanitarian grounds and then speak to someone, and then have that sympathy, empathy, and also professional skepticism while keeping the agenda and the objective that we started with, that there is an assignment that has been given to me and I want to really get the truth out of the transaction. All of this put together will give you the best outcome. And trust me, you will also enjoy the process when only and only when you are going to put in your heart and head into it, that I want to do something and I'm not being biased with anybody. Now, that was a lot of speaking. Mm, so, guys, this is an activity that I've prepared for you all. For example, an MNC has reached out to you to analyze the travel and entertainment expenditure of an employee. Say, for example, Santosh Mate. You have found the following invoice in the alleged employee's expense report. What all steps will you take to ascertain if the claim are true in nature? Let's first hear from you. What all things would you do to see whether this bill is legit or not?
Payment transaction, whether it is
Thank you.
in
Don't
cash,
visit
whether
again.
in
Thanks, Aksham. I made it for you. Yeah. Sorry. Reconfirm from hotel where you travel. Check price online. Yes, yes. Confirmation about authority. Don't visit again. Check GS. So, guys, don't visit again is something that I have put. That's just a joke. Payment proof. Check hotel existence. Yes. Invoice number,
Travel
room number.
tickets.
Yes. Travel
GST.
tickets. Yes. Bank statement. Yes. Ankit, not bank statement, but credit card statement. Check hotel and GSTIN. Yes. Room number, room actually booked under Santosh Mate. Yes. Check on which bill can be fake by converting it into Word. Yes. Perfect. You guys are good forensic auditors. You guys will
Also
make
check
a good. Yeah, yeah.
also check there is a policy to have another children or any family member together with them, because this is 2 plus 1 child.
Yes, you've got it. Very good. In Apple, we have that option. What option, Ankit? Location. Okay. Cool, guys. And do you already see any anomalies? Is also something that you guys have already answered. Now, see, if you look at the logo, it is Hotel Siddharth. The name is Hotel Sharda, and the undersigning is Hotel ML Pride. Now, this is absolutely a fake invoice, right? And I'm not making it up, but this has actually happened. So, one red flag, Hotel Siddhartha. Second red flag, Hotel Sharda Inn. Then, invoice number, like most of you have cited. How can an invoice in November be generated as 001? There has to be some sequence before it, right? Now, arrival date is 9th of November. Now, for all of you, I understand that you would not have seen it, but 9th of November 2025 is actually a Sunday. And any corporate person who's checking in on Sunday and also checking out on Monday morning, that's not fair, right? Why are you going to a hotel on Sunday? There could be a justification, but like I said, everything that you find at the end of the audit, you have to speak with the person and sit with them in investigation chair. Number of guests, like you have seen 2 plus 1 child. This could be a family trip also, for which company is not going to pay. GST number, most of you cited that as well. This is incorrect GST number. One more thing, the address is of Punjab, but the GST is starting at with 02. Actually, the code for Punjab is 03. I've made some grammatical errors here and there. This is system garneted invoice. Now, this cannot be a system generated invoice. If somebody has made a mistake in the format or language or spelling, you'll see here in description also I've written roam charges. Then you see CGST and SGST, though it is said that it is at 6%, but when you calculate it, it is actually more than 6%. With 6%, you will get 1285. But with this invoice, it is 1385, which looks like could be a calculation error. It could be because somebody would want to get more money out of it. And then credit card. You would want to ask the person, where are your credit card payouts? We would want to see the credit card statement as well. And for room charges, like one of you have already cited, you can check the room, you can check the hotel on Make My Trip or anywhere else on Google, and call the hotel or check the prices online as well. So all of these things actually make you wonder if, or all of these things will make you come to a conclusion whether this person has actually filed a legit claim and forged the claim. If you look at the contact number also, it looks like it's fake, right? If you look at the address, near bus station Mohanpur, Punjab, I don't know what hotel Sharda in which exact plot is it located on. Of course, we can check the GSTIN, but the GSTIN is fake. And because GSTIN is fake, I don't know whether the CGST and SGST has been filled in or not. So all of these things, when people who are not very skilled try to hide, they miss such nitty-gritties and they just file in their claim. Now, anybody who's just looking at the claims like that and would not want to really get into the specifics of such invoices, they would just say, okay, this person is eligible for 22,000 rupees room without GST. He's claimed 21,000, let the bill pass. But when you actually get into the nitty-gritties, you'll see every line has a problem. So this is how you test one such invoice. There are instances, guys, where you can actually call the hotel also, but only if you're working for a consulting firm, your client should allow you to do that. Second, if you have the right contact number. Third, it should not come out that you are doing some Reiki on some person. So Santosh Mate would have some connections. For example, Hotel Sharda actually existed. There is a possibility that if you call Hotel Sharda in, they would let Santosh know that, there was somebody asking about your stay here. So you have to be really experienced while you're talking to such people. And thus, in the initial stage of your career with forensic audit, I would suggest don't get into market intelligence or such kind of discreet calling. Learn the process, see the people, learn about people's behavior, learn how to make conversations, how to, make people believe that you're actually a legit customer, and then you take such moves. So these are very interesting cases to solve, and when you are able to actually prove it. That the person has falsified the claims, they have taken advantage of the company, you actually feel like you've won something. It is as good as a good audit observation. And then you present the case to the management, to the ethics committee, to take the call that this is my job, I have done the audit, these are my observations, these are my recommendations, and you take it up with the employee. I'll just check the chats if there is anything for me. Spelling, yes. Travel date should match with the approved travel dates, yes. Room charges. To get into first, should one mainly have a... No, Puneet, you don't really need to have experience. But we'll get into those kind of questions. I'll just go ahead with for the slides. Now, this is not a test for you all, but it is a case study where you can learn how we check the things. So there was a large Indian manufacturing company that I was working for, and we got a fraud risk assessment task that was to be conducted on the capital expenditure that was incurred by them for processing their effluent treatment plant. So the water that gets generated from the manufacturing process, they wanted to prepare, or they wanted to construct and develop a plant where they could actually treat the water and make it little usable. So the risk assessment procedures indicated that the comparative quotations were definitely obtained by the head of department. But when I actually looked at the quotations, anybody who sees 3 quotations would consider them okay, right? If you 3 quotation, 4 quotation, 5 quotation, you can get n number of quotations from the market the way you want them to be. But when you look at those quotations from forensics angle, you get to know the actual scenario or actual standing of those entities who are giving those comparative quotations. So you might would have heard L1, L2, L3 vendors. L1 would mean that the vendor who's giving you the cheapest quote or the lowest quote for your task. Generally, we see that lowest bidding vendor gets the order. There are cases where people would want to go with L2 and L3. There could be legit reasons for that, and people do get that documented. But in this case, for simplicity, I'll keep it as L1 got the quotation, got the order. When we actually got a whistleblower complaint, we learned that the quotations were rigged. Now, how were those rigged? I'll show you. Now, for context, I'll tell you, SPure was the entity that got the order. But if you see, this was the quotation that was given by L2 vendor, that is second best vendor. This vendor, first of all, I could not really flash the entire quotation that was received because that ran into 50 to 80 pages. But the quotation also showed that both Espior's and Hyoxy's quotation were exactly similar. I would say same also. To some extent, it was exactly dot to dot same with the format, with the way the words were written. The spelling mistakes in both the quotations were same. It's just that Hyoxy would have given a quotation for 1 crore and Espior would have given a quotation of 99 lakhs. Now, basis this, you would have taken a call that, okay, 99 lakhs is lesser than 1 crore, I'll go with the L1. But actually, when we went to see, and I myself went to do the site visit, I saw that at this location, there was no entity named Hyoxy Aqua because this was the address that was given to me. And this was also the address that was given on the quotation of the Hyoxy Aqua. And I learned that there was no board, there was no sign of this entity there. People do get their entities registered on GST does not mean that they actually run that business. Many a times they would just create a parallel or sister concern so that they can manage 2 quotations in every company that they work for. Now, any company who's actually building a plant for effluent water that gets out of the manufacturing unit, they typically do high cost plans. They typically get into big ticket purchase orders. If somebody has such a big business, they should have some standing in the market. They should have some place that they work at. Very interesting thing, on Hyoxy's Aqua Technology quotation, the contact number that was mentioned was actually for a person who was working for Espure. That means Espure, being L1 vendor, created the second quotation and pushed it into the system. The head of department also stayed numb. With this concoction, vendor collusion, bid rigging, they went ahead and got the work done. Now, the cost is definitely not comparable. They have lied to the company, they have cheated with the company, they have violated the code of conduct. All in all, they have breached the trust of the company. But this could get uncovered. Why? Because we thought that we should go beyond the regular audit procedures and actually look at the essence or actual spirit of the transaction. So the head of department did obtain 3 quotations and manipulated the management in offering the order to his favored vendor. He made money out of it. there was then further we did recovery from that employee. That employee was terminated. In relieving letter also we do mention that this person is terminated because they have conducted financial fraud with the company. With this, the image also get tarnished, and also there is an unrest that occurs in the family of the employee. But we have to do our jobs, and we do stay fair with the company. We also give enough chances to the employees. So this entire process, guys, anybody of you who gets into forensic audit, you will have a huge responsibility to be fair to your profession and be fair to the employee as well. Be unbiased when you start the investigation process, and while you are finding facts, you're connecting the dots, you're linking the stories that people would have told to you while your process discussions, you get to a conclusion which should be foolproof, that okay, I've touched base all the possible areas that came to my mind, and now this is my conclusion, that this person has actually forged the bills or has gotten into wrong practices. So I'll get into another case study. That is the last slide that I would want to flash. But before that, sir, can you put up the poll question?
Yes, I would do that. Just a sec. Here it is. All of you, please have a look at the chat box, please. I'm not able to put it into that poll, but yes, the question is here.
Okay, great. Guys, read the question carefully and give an answer to this question. Great. I think all of them have gotten it right. Sham, C is not the right answer. B is the right answer. Perfect. So I think we have really intelligent audience. I don't really need to then explain the question. But yeah, conflict of interest is also one of the things that we do come across while we are investigating things. Just one last slide. Or sir, are we running out of time? Should we take up the questions first?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. You can take some time. None of them has any pending attempt right now, so they can invest time to become more employable.
Okay, great.
Class है, ना कुछ करना है.
Super.
Take them through these case studies. This will help them a lot.
Yes, yes. So this is another case study. Now this is also a real life case study. So what happened was that a customer gave a very big order for, say, for example, I would say construction contract. So a company got a big order from a customer to construct, say, for example, a bridge. And an employee was made responsible to make a strategy how they are going to execute that construction of bridge. Now, there was a manager who was given this responsibility to finalize the distributor who is going to provide cement, steel, and then concrete preparation and all the material that you would require to make a bridge, and who's going to actually construct the bridge. All of that was responsible. All of that was the responsibility of Mike. Now, what Mike did, he colluded with a contractor, and he gave the order to the preferred distributor, and in turn he asked for a commission, and the distributor also agreed that okay, I want the business, I'll pay you whatever you want, and I'll get the job. But then this person was also aware, the distributor was also aware about the company's code of conduct. So he raised a whistle, he blew a whistle with the company's board of directors and ethics committee, that this person of your company is actually taking commission from us to really award the order to us. We are hardly left with any margins, but he's making sure that he gets all that he want from us. Now, this was highlighted to the internal audit team of the company, and this transaction was then given to the forensics team and forensic auditors. The transaction between Mike and distributor, which were identified, it was noticed that he did take the person Mike did take cash and in kind favors from distributor for his personal benefit. To one extent, we also found that there were certain entries in his bank account which he could not prove was either a loan or was it a commission that he took and never returned. Though in his defense, Mike continuously was saying that no, I returned this money, I don't have this money now. But the bank trails speak for themselves, right? If you see something coming in credit and you do not see a corresponding debit to that, you know that the money has stayed in the bank account and the balance keeps increasing. So you know that the money has stayed with Mike. All of these things, the whistleblower complaint, the fund trail analysis, the discussion with Mike, the interrogation that we did, also the documentary proof of transaction details and the way the transaction was conducted, we proved that Mike was actually guilty and he took the commission from the distributor to give the order to them. So Mike was definitely terminated from his employment. The commission was also recovered from Mike that he would have received from distributor. Now, anything that we could trace, it could be the statement of the distributor. Mike agreed that yes, I took the cash. Anything that he has received in bank, we could take back that much amount. But yeah, whatever he would have taken in kind, if we have proof of that, for example, he has taken some holiday vacation from distributor booked holiday vacation and gave it to Mike. The evidence of that holiday trip would also get recovered from Mike. So all of these things do get recovered back from Mike. But as an auditor, as forensic auditor, or in that shoe, if you get into it, you actually have to look beyond what is really in front of you. And you have to look beyond what Mike would have told you when he was sitting in front of you. For example, I am Mike, and you guys are investigating auditors. I would never come clear and say, नहीं, मैंने पैसे ले लिए. I would make hundreds of stories to prove my innocence. But if you have right set of evidences with you before coming to me for interrogation, if you've thought everything that I could do, every way I could take to get out of this situation, if you would have thought through before coming to me, and if you would have taken right action to really prove me wrong before coming to me, and you have rehearsed well, you will always be able to prove me wrong. So these things, these interrogations are interesting, are tough, but the outcome is something that is really worth it. So such kind of cases do keep coming on and off very frequently in India. We know how things work, and thus it is even more important to be a forensic auditor in India. We do see these kind of things coming up. The more whistleblowers we have, the more complaints we have, and the more work we do to clean the systems. So I have many such stories, but I'll cut it short here, and I'll now take up questions if you have any. Um,
I have few questions, Aditi.
yes, sir.
First question is, everybody is right now having this kind of a FOMO and FOBO both nowadays. The FOMO is fear of missing out कि मेरे को तो ये भी करना है, मेरे को ये भी करना है. Now, how they can become more employable, because you and I very well know the final teaching and final understanding of CA finance doesn't make you directly employable for forensics at some point of time.
Agree.
So what all they can do, if they are excited by today's session, which they would definitely be looking at to the participation, what specific skill sets they should be acquiring. Yeah, they should be reading and they should be referring to keep themselves updated. A. B. This whole new genre of Gen Z chartered accountants have this herd mentality of doing these short-term courses. अभी every self-proclaimed guru on YouTube and LinkedIn nowadays comes up and says कि मैं आपको train कर दूंगा 5 दिन में, आप मेरी master class कर लो. So please give that clarity to them that whether these kind of things will help or a sustained effort to improve their own capabilities will help. And if they want to do that, what are the sources? What are the places they should look into? And if you can refer few websites or few links which they should read, understand to get that fraud analytic mindset will help.
Yes, very fair question, sir. So one, how to be more employable in forensics, and thanks to the changing environment, we don't really need to have a particular certification before we want to get into forensics. It's not necessary that you have uh, some experience from your articleship, because I never had any experience in forensic audit while I was doing my articleship. It was just the thought process that I had. Now, what kind of thought process? Not taking anything on face value. While you will be interviewed, you'll have to think like a thief, like I said. You have to think that beyond a certain thing, what else would I see in a document to really identify the fraud in this? A normal audit would only make you learn that okay, this was the policy, whether the entire transaction is checking the boxes of policy or not, and just go get ahead with it. But think beyond that. Think about the cases that I have discussed with you. Were you able to think on those lines before I presented the entire explanation to you about that one invoice that I presented? Were you able to cite all of the flaws? Were you able to cite all of the or the majority of the red flags in the invoice? If you were, perfect. If you were not, think about it. Think about all the things that I've spoken about. And there is no rocket science when it comes to forensic audit. You just need to have that thinking out of the box, and you just need to be intrigued and be really, really interested in audit. That's basically everything that you would need to get into forensics. I personally love audit. I love challenging processes. I love challenging people and transactions and documents. So I like doing forensics. If you also do that, if you also are able to relate to that feeling of really going ahead and challenging people and processes and actually improving things, then yes, you will be more than employable in industry. But what majority people lack is, when I also take interviews, I see that people give rata rataya answer. That koi question pucha, for example, why do you want to join forensics? No, I liked seeing things beyond what is there on the paper. I like auditing. Don't give this. What give what you actually feel, and what you say actually comes out quite evidently in front of interviewers. Work on your English. Work on your speaking skills, work on your writing skills, because investigation also would require report writing. Work on your etiquettes. I'm sure Deepak sir would have taken that class, how to present yourself in front of interviewers. I typically, I properly remember everything that sir taught, and that has helped me a lot. Just having bookish knowledge won't get you anywhere. So your interpersonal skills as well as your auditing skills will land you into your dream job. And about forensics, yes, it is interesting, but it does come with a lot of competition, because it is still growing. A lot of people want to come into forensics, but we have limited seats all the time, which is growing now. But yes, it gives you good competition and gives you good platform to prove yourself.
Any specific reference materials which they can read through,
Yes.
certain good case studies or certain websites where they can get a regular update? Like
Yes.
we had
So,
one session last week, last attempt, where one of the girls was from private equity.
yeah,
So she mentioned INC 42 या ऐसे 2-3 websites she mentioned कि वहाँ पर आपको you'll get that information where you can keep yourself tapped on to things.
yes.
Because none of them is reading newspapers, I'm pretty sure.
Guys, please start reading newspapers. It helps you a lot with your vocabulary. Um, Sir, with uh, forensics, everything that comes into news is a reservoir for us. You read the cases, you learn what kind of fraud people do, and you learn more about human. But if we talk about reference materials, yes, there are a lot of reference materials out there which give you information about forensics. But more than that, you would actually need practical knowledge about it. To be able to sit into the interviews, read about the old cases, very famous cases like Enron or ICICI or BlackRock now that we are seeing, read about those cases, make stories, make such case studies, sit, all of you friends can sit and debate about some cases that you see online, what could have done, what could have gone wrong, uh, what could have done right, or what could get better into the company. Think about that and bring that to the table of interviewer. If we talk about courses, see, in India, CA is a good course to get into forensics. If you want to specialize into forensics, you can also get into CFE, that is certified fraud examiner. That has 4 papers and it is generally doable in 4 to 5 months time. And that is also very credible a degree that one can get, or certification one can get to global platforms as well. Outside India, people do recognize CFE better than CA if we are speaking only about forensics. There are courses which are also given by our institute. So FAFD is one of them. Uh, but FAFD is used mostly by the people who are into practice. If you're planning to get into practice, do make sure that you're also having FAFD certification. If not practice, and if you're getting into job and you're wanting to learn more about forensics, get the CFE certification. It is really useful, and you also get to learn the specifics about the fraud cases and how to approach any transaction while you're looking for forensic audit. So majorly these 2 cases will make you employable in first instance. Of course, like I said, CA is also good. If you also want to have specific certifications, these 2 are good.
Okay, great. Any other questions which my friends have? Ashish, your question already got answered, that as a fresher, you can get employed in forensics and you can start your career. If you want to specialize, then you can go further. This is the question I asked. Any other questions which you have? If there is a silence, there are 2 options. या तो सब समझ में आया है या कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया है.
May I ask a question?
Yes, Kiran. Where are you
I
from,
just
Kiran?
I'm from Lucknow, sir.
स्वागत है आपका.
Thank you.
जी जी.
I just wanted to know how the typical day of a forensic auditor is like. What can be the working hours? How you manage the pressure? Is there such kind of pressure or not? Like how a typical day?
Very good question, Kiran. Um, every day for a forensic auditor is new. It is not monotonous. I've been loving my job since 7 years now. What a day looks like. For example, a new case comes to you. You log into your system. There is a complaint that comes to your table that somebody has conducted a fraud. And now you have to prepare the plan, the roadmap, how you want to approach this complaint. Then you decide the data sets that you would be needing. You request for that data set or you get it yourself. Either if it is from ERP, you can get it. If you're into the company, you can get it from the ERP. If you're a consulting firm, you ask from the people whom you're dealing with.
Mhm.
Then you perform the procedures. Now, what are the procedures? One, read the complaint properly. Know what is to be done. In the roadmap, identify the clear steps that you would want to do. For example,
Mm.
let's take one example that we have seen for hotel bill fraud. What all things will you need? You will be needing travel and expense report of the
Right.
employee. You would be needing the T&E policy. You would be needing the band of the employee. किस band में है वो? What is the eligible limit? Just to know that. Then also you would be needing the company's credit card statement if the company issues credit card, and they would have right to extract the credit card and give it to you. Prepare that roadmap, ask for the data, and start working. Now, there are 2-3 things that we do in audit. One, we do our desk job. Second, we do desktop searches. We go to Facebook, Instagram, see the tag locations. Was he there or was he not there? If he was there, was he with family? If you're able to tap upon that, do the research, public domain searches. Then you see whether that hotel was existing at the location it was mentioned or not. You do the calling. You do the basic calculations that you would want to do. If it has come to you in PDF form, simply check the properties of the document, and then towards the end of the cycle or whatever time it will take, you prepare a report with your observations. Then you sit with the employee for interrogation, which is a one-on-one interview, which should be done in presence of an HR, so that there is no bias and somebody after going out of the room cannot complain about your behavior with the alleged employee. So make sure, guys, whenever you're conducting an interview, you have an independent HR sitting with you who's not party to the complaint. Okay, so you sit with the person, you get your observations on table, get their responses, counter them, do whatever you can to prove that your points or your thoughts are right if they are not being countered well by the alleged employee, and then prepare the final report that is going to go to the management. So this is how my day would look like, which has multiple other things, multiple cases going on. So for example, one day there could be one case that you have on your plate. Second day you can have 10 more, and then you have to prioritize and everything. But yeah, typically this is the end-to-end cycle that you would do to crack a case.
Okay. So people normally mention in internal audit you have to travel a lot. So in the forensic audit, likewise, we have to travel a lot, or it's a kind of typical job on the off in the office, do more of data analytics, and when you find something, then after you go for the interview. Which one is correct?
Yeah. So you don't really always have to travel all the time like we do in internal audit, because internal audit requires you to be there on floor to really understand the processes.
Right.
Here, the majority job is done on your desk because you have access to Google and internet. You do your research on your system, you review documents, and then you hit the ground. If, for example, you have to travel to a certain location to really get the documents, maybe because your client is staying there, your office is there, you then hit the ground and get the documents, and then again do the research and do your work back in your office. But typically, the travel is not that heavy here. Working hours, depending upon the load that you have. There were days when I have sat till 4 in the morning and again have logged in at 8 in the morning. And there are days when I've left the office at 4 also. So this does not really this does not really go by a certain time. Every timeline that you have to cater to depends upon the case that you're dealing with.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Anybody else? What the Lenovo is asking? What are the chances of a fresher to get into forensic auditing? Where should we start our job hunt, and how can we begin our career? for example, in Big Four. So, Big Fours generally do hire through campuses, or they have their openings that they, I think,
They are
display in
hiring.
LinkedIn. They're
EY team is
hiring.
hiring through us as of now. These
Yeah.
kids don't apply only in forensics because they feel
Guys,
कि हमको कुछ आता ही
do
नहीं.
apply. Come on. You should apply. You'll love it. So, of course, the best source is if we have something that comes to you directly without really applying anywhere else on LinkedIn or other portals. If Deepak sir is getting you into forensics, don't miss this opportunity. I thank him even today. Guys, get into forensics either through such portals where they flash the job requirements, or if we have campuses like Deepak sir run the campus in Indore, do make sure that you're applying there and getting interviewed at least. That is how you're going to get into the interview process, Lenovo. What else? In the context of internal audit, does forensic audit primarily focus more on process-related aspect or on financial aspect, and how do these two dimensions influence the overall objective? So, Ayush, every audit is different. Like I said, every case is going to be different. I've not dealt with any case which has been exactly replica of the other. So it's not like internal audit that every quarter I'm going to have some kind of review, and every 2 years I'm going to have the same audit to be done again. It's not like that. Every case is different, every human is different. You have to deal with every case differently. It could be process related audit, it could be financial aspect related audit. Does not really matter, because at the end of the day you are in hunt of truth. So you might will have to take the route whatever it takes to get to the final outcome or the desired outcome. But like I said, when you're going to make a roadmap to crack a case, that time you will be able to know if it is a process related audit or people related audit.
Hello,
Then
ma'am.
Rishika, yes.
Ma'am, I want to ask, like, as of now, we know that how exciting the forensic audit, but I also want to know, like, like, how frustrating forensic audit will be. Like, I believe, like, there would be some limitation of it also. So I want some reality check on it.
Rishika, it is actually it is actually a very good question, because I uh, I am somebody who also keeps empathy in my heart when I am interviewing someone. So while you are getting observations, it is really nice. But while you're actually interrogating someone, interviewing someone, there have been cases where people would actually cry in front of you, because for them, you are the decision maker at that point in time. For them, they know that they have conducted something which is not right, they've gotten into malpractices, but then you also have to stay true to your profession and you have to take a call. So that time, I won't say it gets frustrating, but it does take a toll on your thoughts that am I in right place, because I'm actually deciding people's career. I'm actually, my report is actually going to end someone's job, and their family is dependent on them. They have a lot of debt. There have been cases where people have come to us and said that, ma'am, I'm into major debt of crores of rupees, I don't have a job. But then you have to stay true to your profession. So while the finding the truth process is really nice and challenges you in all the ways, interrogation does at times break you. Leno, what is exit options? Why do you want to exit? Is this a venture that you have
They are
invested?
shopping. They are shopping and hopping.
Come on. Is this
मतलब
is
I
this
can tell you, I can give you some idea, Aditi, the kind of requests which I get nowadays. Sir, 6 महीने बाद चेंज करना है. Sir, I want to try out various things before settling down. मतलब जो लाइफ में पार्टनर के लिए करना है वो जॉब के लिए भी करना
वो
है
जॉब
मुझे.
के लिए? हाँ, सही है.
एंड
No,
पैसे
so
कितने बढ़ते जाएंगे, हाउ मेनी टाइम, हाउ मच मनी आई विल गेट, एंड देयर स्टार्ट लेवल्स आर लाइक 15-20 लाख से तो शुरू करना है मुझे. अरे भाई So
Oh,
I'm being very honest and straightforward in front of you because it's within a close call.
yes.
गजब है गजब सारे के सारे अभी.
मस्त है पर दिस इज द एज गाइस थिंक एवरीथिंग दैट यू कैन एंड गुड. ये एग्जिट ऑप्शन वाला मुझे शार्क टैंक का क्वेश्चन लग रहा है कि मैंने 4 करोड़ आपके धंधे में डाल दिए, अभी मुझे एग्जिट कैसे मिलेगा. बट हुएवर लेनोवो इज गाइस, सो फॉरेंसिक ऑडिट आप करोगे ना. आई हैव नॉट मेट एनीबडी जिसको फॉरेंसिक पसंद नहीं आया. इफ यू गेट इनटू इट हार्डली यू विल फाइंड एनी पॉसिबिलिटी का आपको पसंद नहीं आ रहा है, आगे नहीं करना है. बट यू गाइज आर चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट्स, लाइक कम ऑन, यू नो ऑडिट. If you don't like forensic, you can get into tax, you can get into internal audit, you can get into statutory audit, or whatever the chartered accountants do. You can do everything. If you're exploring, like really, if you are into exploring jobs, and if you get into forensics, and unfortunately, for example, or for that matter, not just forensics, forget about forensics, if you get into any other audit also, and then later you realize I'm not getting that fun, you make sure that you then by that time identify what else you want to do and then get into it. Don't linger over for very long time because it will negatively impact your career. Get into it, give everything that you have to the profession and the job. And if even if then you don't like it, then maybe think about anything else because nobody is going to take away your knowledge from you, right? फॉरेंसिक में लग गए इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि फिर डायरेक्ट टैक्स भूल जाओगे. तो यू कैन स्टिल गेट इनटू टैक्सेशन. जस्ट मेक श्योर दैट यू आर इनटू दैट जोन कि आप बहुत अलग भी नहीं हो जाओ उस स्ट्रीम से जहां पे आपको जाना है. एंड टेक अ कॉल इन ड्यू टाइम. जस्ट डोंट प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट. Aditi is asking, what does the ideal resume look like for a fresher applying to a Big Four? There is no
Go
ideal
ahead.
resume, Aditi.
Yes,
What
please
is
tell
ideal
them because
resume?
once again they have been, I'll tell you why they end up going those interview ready workshops for 13 days and listening what not across the world. With all due respect to people who are doing it, they are doing a fabulous job. But actually, after becoming a chartered accountant now with the GPT, with everything, the only patience which they need is to train the GPT to take their interview directly.
Yes, get mock tests done, mock interviews done via GPT. So, Aditi, I understand the place where you're coming from. I understand that when you clear a tough exam, you want to be really sellable in the market. But trust me, there is no ideal resume. If you have the knowledge, that is going to show up in the interviews. Yes, how to get to interview? Your resume should be good. It should not be like a 15-page essay about yourself. And I remember sir only taught us that your resume should not go beyond a page or a half, 1 page or 1.5 page, I think. Uh, so make sure that it is crisp. You write about your qualifications, your achievements, what are the industries that you've worked for. For example, you're applying in Crompton because I'm deployed with Crompton currently. What is Crompton? Read about Crompton. Crompton is an FMEG company. You have to highlight everything that you've done in this sector, FMCG, FMEG, any other manufacturing unit that you've worked for. Make your resume eligible to be part of that company, and that will be able to land you into position where you can actually get interviewed.
I'll add to it, Aditi.
Yeah.
I have done a session for them. And I have even shown 6 templates to them that this is how a same resume can be done in different 6 templates. And it's available on YouTube right now for them to watch. But they don't have 1.5 hours to watch that also. They will put that link to GPT and then take out the summary.
Aditi, you got your answer, right? You have such good free templates available.
And I compared every single thing, how to write your attempts, how to write your experience, how to highlight it, how to customize it as per the job requirement. Like if you're going for stat audit, it should have primarily stat audit. Then yes, it's not full on roast mode. It's not roasting. We are enabling. Imagine if you see the charge out rate of Aditi at this level, that's quite high and mine also. But It's coming to you for free. That's what you all have to value, and you have to invest the most valuable currency. That's your time.
That's your time.
ये लगना पड़ेगा, सीए करने से सब कुछ नहीं होगा. आप सीए करने के बाद बहुत पढ़ना पड़ेगा. The best part is you don't have exams now. That's it.
Yes.
Now
And you
life
have
will
all
take
the
your
time to
exams.
play around. Yes, yes, definitely. So guys, roast mode नहीं है. It is a candid conversation. वो मतलब boring conversation भी हो सकता है कि हर question को seriously answer करके चले जाएंगे. But Aditi, I hope you got your answer. Make it according to the company you're applying in, and showcase the best assignments that you've done, the best industries that you've part of assignments, and that should be good. Exit opportunity in forensic other than Big Four, as if we join an industry, we know fraud doesn't happen daily, so why a company would hire us? Laksh, that's not the case. We have a lot of MNCs who are having independent forensic teams and compliance audit teams. Big Fours definitely is a good start point. If you get into industry, my role currently is hybrid. So I do internal audits and I do forensics as well. But if you talk about my day, majority of my day gets into forensic audit. And I'm into an Indian MNC. Now think about a global MNC. It it'll have even more cases. It's not just identification of fraud and doing the witch hunting. In my slides, if you would have read, I talked about the proactive approach, that is fraud risk assessment. Read about fraud risk assessment, and you'll understand that that is a proactive assessment where you can actually analyze the processes and find the leakages, not from process improvement point of view, but from the point of view where you can identify if somebody has done a fraud or somebody could do a fraud. If, for example, there is a procurement policy in the company, but the procurement policy does not talk about the division of responsibility. As an independent investigator, you and also conducting fraud risk assessment, you can tell the company that you need to revise your policy, and at the same time take some samples, review whether the people have not taken advantage of the loophole in the policy, and you also fix the policy. So it is process improvement at the time of finding fraud beforehand or finding the potential fraud beforehand. There are a lot of bid rigging cases, especially that you would see while you're doing FRA, by the way, that is fraud risk assessment. So why would a company hire you? A company would hire you if you have investigative skills, one, to support them in in-house investigations, second, to improve their processes from fraud perspective. So the ideal way to get into forensic audit, guys, each to its own, but I'll take this liberty to suggest you get into a consulting firm, could be Big Four, Big Six, Big 10, or any other consulting firm. Learn the audit skills from there. I understand that you might would have instincts about audit and forensic audit. Sharpen them, fine tune them, and get into industry at a later stage. That has two benefits. One, you're just not thrown in the ocean without any support. In consulting firm, you do have guiding people. You have a lot of guidance of the team members. In industry, that generally doesn't happen because industries have smaller teams and they expect you to perform from the day one. In Big Fours, you will have that bandwidth of learning more. Second, industry grows at a lower pace in terms of pay. With Big Four, you have higher chances of taking bigger leaps. So you make your resume strong with consulting firm Big Fours. You make your mind sharpen up, and then you get into industry. And I don't see any reason why somebody would not hire you if you get into forensics after due knowledge about it. After getting due knowledge about it, what kind of interview preparation is needed? Who's this? Sorry, I missed it. Yeah. What kind of interview preparation is needed? We don't need to really do a lot of preparation. If you're sitting into forensics ka interview, you will be asked specific questions about forensics, and you have to take every question as a forensic question and think from the think from the place where you would want to prove a fraud. The examples that I gave. And sir, if needed, I can share this PPT also for everybody's reference.
Send it to
So that
me.
they,
I'll circulate it to them.
yes, yes.
Please mention your name and your designation in the footnotes. We would like to give the credit to you.
Thank you.
Now
I'll do that.
that is anyways there, because I saw that you have done a lot of hard work just trying to build that particular thing, and so the credit should be given where it's due. Please send it with proper things and attachments and with
I'll
your
do that.
watermark.
I'll do that.
Secondly, we are hard pressed for time now, so I think
Yes.
questions
There are a
are
lot
in
of
a
questions.
repetitive mode right now. So I will address these questions. They can ask these questions into my WhatsApp group also. Most of them are into my WhatsApp groups. Every attempt we have a WhatsApp group. I am just sharing the link of that WhatsApp group once again so that those who are not a member as of now can join that group, because the link of the session comes through various sources. So I am just sharing that again for all of you. So rather than taking it further,
Yes.
I would
There are a
like
lot of
to,
questions.
yeah.
Yes.
Aditi ma'am, I just write a question in the chat box. Can you please answer?
If I start from stat audit in Big Four offshore unit, will it restrict my chances to get into forensics? No, Himanshu, it won't restrict. But I'll
Can
tell
I
you
take this
something
question,
practically.
Aditi?
If
I'll add this. I'll add to this question of Himanshu. Aditi, can I answer this with you?
yes, yes, please.
Himanshu, it all depends upon what you are doing in offshore units. In offshore units, if you are just doing reconciliations and doing some cut, copy, paste work like an article for a foreign client, then your overall thought process within 6 months to 1 year will get blunt. You will be golden handcuffed. Now, golden handcuff means your salary will be so high that you will not be ready to take a cut and come and do the hard work. So my simple, sincere advice to you is, if you really want to do some hard work, do the hard work first and then get into that comfort position. Comfort position में आने के बाद ये सब नहीं होगा. Aditi, am I correct or not?
Agreed, absolutely. This is what I was coming to, sir. अगर दिमाग blunt हो जाता है, उसके बाद फिर creative field में नहीं जा पाओगे आप.
It
So
has to be
everything that sir
regularly
said.
exercised and polished and worked upon. So
Yes.
they all are getting lucrative offers from offshore units, which is the routine thing after the results are declared.
Yes.
It is always a lakh or 1.5 to 2 lakhs rupees higher than the Indian firms. But the point is, they are billing in dollars, paying in rupees, so they have the arbitrage. They'll keep you comforted for 5 days and they'll not ask you to work for more than that. And once you get into that mold, फिर बहुत मुश्किल होती है after a year or so to come out.
Agreed.
Himanshu, being very honest, very blunt, very categorical in this thing.
No, even I have friends, Deepak sir and Himanshu, where people have gotten into those roles, and now it's so difficult for them to have that leap in their career because now they're redundant. I mean, copy, paste. This is not what you've given your 5 years for. You are built for some other things. You're built for creative things. You're built for things where you can actually put your brain. और बाहर के लोग जब बहुत ल्यूक्रेटिव ऑफर देते हैं देर आर चांसेस कि कुछ अच्छा भी मिल जाए उसमें बट उन लोगों का मेजर काम होता है डंपिंग का कि उधर के लोगों का दिमाग अच्छा चले और वो जो बल्क का काम है रिपीटेटिव मैनुअल काम है कॉपी
That's the whole
पेस्ट का
business
वो
model
इधर
actually.
yeah
Yes,
and
yes, ma'am.
they are running their businesses no so they have to be cost effective when they take decisions.
I
Ma'am, I
think
have
this,
one question.
I think Rishika, I have to take a hard stop because Aditi also has to leave. Even I have to wrap up the session. We have things on hand. So let me first give a warm, warm thanks to Aditi. And Aditi, let me all tell you, matlab, I so love her in terms of I just simply sent her a text that I want to take a session and she simply said yes. There was no here and there, let me check my schedule. Ye wo kuch nahi. Things are so simple at our end. A simple text can help each other out. So thank you very much, Aditi, for being available for freshers. And it's really appreciable. And I will be doing a bit of an editing and then uploading and sharing the link with you so that you can share it with anybody nowadays who comes to you. कि क्या हुआ? How it works? Please watch this.
Yes.
So thank you very much. And may I request all the participants also to put up a word. They are already putting a word on the
They've
chat box for you.
already, yeah.
Yes. So thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you
And
so much, ma'am.
yeah.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
By any
Ankit.
chance, Aditi, if you are landing up in Indore, when are you landing up?
I am coming on 4th of December. See,
So
guys, it's so easy with forensics. I do get to travel to my hometown.
so you definitely owe a visit, and I
Yes,
want to meet you and speak to you in person also on many other
please.
things also. It will be a
Absolutely.
pleasure to catch up with you.
I'll drop at your doorstep, sir.
We'll catch up. Thank you very
Yes.
much, Aditi, once again on
Thank
behalf
you.
of all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank
for
you.
this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Oh,
much, everybody. Bye, guys. Good night.
Bye
bye, ma'am.
bye. Good night. Have a nice day.